All right, we are recording. Okay, so today we are going to talk about timed nutrition. Before we get started, though, what I want to tell you guys is there's a lot of hoopla about this, but if you think about it, it's not any different than trying something new for the first time, no matter what it is. If you've done 21 Day Fix, guess what? You learned that container system. You learned how to eat within those guidelines as well. This is, there she is. Hey, Melanie.
Hey.
So this is just a different type of plan. It still incorporates the containers. It is definitely stricter because it uses time nutrition. Time nutrition specifically targets the peak times of your metabolism, I guess, surrounding your workout. So it's going to help your body use your food in the best way possible to get the best results, not only to like push through your workouts, but also to get stronger, to get faster, to get, if you want to drop weight, if that's your goal, like me, I want to lose weight. So that's going to be part of my goal too. But time nutrition helps with all of that. And just so you guys know, some of the results coming in already, there was a girl who's done it for 1 week. She already lost 5 pounds on A Little Obsessed. This isn't even stepping it up to the 80-day obsession workouts because they're not out yet. So she's doing the 30-minute A Little Obsessed workouts using, the only different thing is time nutrition, and she's lost 5 pounds. So it does work. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, especially if I know Jamie works out in the morning. I know Melanie works out in the morning, so it's going to be difficult. But Autumn, her common theme in all of her videos is, if you want different results, you have to be willing to try something new. And she is very adamant about trying the program as it's written. She is only allowing bending on one thing, and that's it. So none of that is meant to scare you. It's very powerful to go into something in the right frame of mind and to know exactly what you're supposed to do so that you can do it, right? So I do really actually, that appeals to me a lot about this program. There's no like, well, if you don't like this, you could do this. Like, there's no questioning it. You just need to eat this at this time in this way, in this amount. I think that there's a beauty to that as well. It kind of simplifies things, which is really nice. Okay, so before this call, I asked if you would all figure out your food plan. Have you done that?
Yes.
All right, so what plans, what plans do we have out there? I'm a C.
I'm an A.
Are you sure you're an A, Maggie? Because did you see Melanie's post?
Yes. And I'm sorry.
I just read it. I didn't get a chance to respond to it, and I was going to respond to you, Melanie. So.
Melanie, can you tell her what your post said?
I was an A. I was an A.
Yes. So basically, okay, so I can, but my ex is just walking out the door, so I'm going to have to respond in 1 minute, or Amy will tell you.
We'll come back to this for sure.
Give me 1 sec.
No problem. Lori, did you figure out your plan already? Are you doing the 80-a-day obsession? Nutrition?
I'm probably not going to be doing it.
But you wanted to learn about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. No worries. No worries. When you are ready, have you looked into any of the nutrition guides on Beachbody On Demand yet?
I think I'd be a plan A.
Okay.
If I'm understanding the whole thing correctly, I think I'm an A.
Yeah, so I don't want to steal Melanie's thunder. I'll ask her to describe it. Plan A is low calories. it's but you guys are all petite compared to me. I'm a giant. So
Stop.
Well, I am 6 feet tall. I'm a little bit taller than most people. All right.
You got the height, girl. You got the height.
I do. Well, I got the girth right now too. I got to get rid of that a little bit. Dina, what plan are you going to be in?
So I'm an A.
Okay. And Jamie, how about you? I bet you're going to say A too.
As well.
Okay, so I'll ask Melanie to expand on it a little bit. Oh, here she comes.
Okay.
Are you good or no? Because we can.
Amy, I'm sorry, not Amy. Melanie. So
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just reread your post in our group, and I am in the same boat as you because I'm not really looking to lose a lot of weight. I'm actually just looking to tone, and just prove to myself that I can freaking do this.
Hell yeah.
For 80 days and stay on top of my nutrition, because nutrition is something I struggle with a lot. So this is going to be
Sister, we
something
all
huge
do.
for me. So
I just ate a gigantic piece of dark chocolate before this, so I feel you.
At least it was dark.
yes.
I just went to Joey Garlic's.
So please, so go ahead and enlighten me, because I actually haven't got, because when I looked at my plan, I was like, my God, I'm like, it's so little. I was like, I'm going to be hungry. So I think maybe I should bump up. So tell me what you came up with.
Yeah, well, no, so I just watched the video that Autumn posted, and probably most of us saw it, the one where she was in the mall and she was talking about how she eats Plan C, even though she's 5'3" and 110 pounds.
Okay, I have not watched that one yet.
Yeah, so she basically
Amy and
talks
Tina's
about,
faces.
I know, about, and poor her, she's like, oh, if I eat Plan B, I get too skinny, like, oh, poor you. But basically she was saying that there were people in the test group who were in Plan A and they weren't losing weight, and she convinced them to bump up to maintenance, which is Plan C, and they actually did lose weight and did get incredibly ripped, even more so because they were eating such little, taking in so few calories, their body was holding on to it, as opposed to having enough to really fuel you and get you through the workouts and build more muscle and all those things. Your body needs actually more clean calories, not whatever you want, but in order to do that. And then I didn't watch the whole thing because it was an hour and a half, but I fast forwarded to parts that were relevant, in a video that there were 3 women from a different team in the test group. I don't know, 3 super duper coaches who were in the actual 80-day obsession test group. And they were saying as well that one of them was saying she was started in Plan A and it was working, but not that great. And she was just really starving throughout the whole thing. And she bumped up to C and she still had these amazing results. So I feel like they were talking a lot about people who are afraid to eat more. And I feel like I'm that person. I'm afraid, I'm maintenance is Plan C. I'm afraid to eat Plan C. I'm but I feel like I have to at least do Plan B because I do think Plan A, I will be starving. So it seems like I might actually have better results if I eat more from what they're claiming.
So here's, like I said, I'm not a nutrition expert. I don't know a lot about it, but what one of the things I do know is if you are not eating enough calories and trying to lose weight, your body goes into starvation mode where it literally holds on to everything and can actually, it just makes you plateau and be miserable at the same time. So my advice to all of you is to trust the process. So if you do not want to lose more than 5 pounds, more than 10 pounds, I would definitely stay in the maintenance category. And I know you're afraid to eat Plan C, Melanie, but
I know.
Trust the process, because here's what's going to happen we're in the test group too with Autumn, but because not everybody is, but those who aren't in the test group, you can reevaluate after a week or 2. And if you feel like you're leaving food behind, you can bump yourself down. But it's a lot healthier, I think, to bump yourself down than it is to not be intaking enough calories and put yourself and your organs and your whole body into a situation where it's more stress than it needs to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Lori,
I'll say that too.
Yeah. So Lori, what we're kind of talking about is 80-day obsession we talked about the time nutrition really briefly, but it's going to be really intense workouts. And this is the first time in Beachbody's history that the super trainer who designed the program has encouraged people to eat before their workout. As you know, a lot of people do early morning workouts, but Autumn is, she knows her stuff. She came up with Fix8 and 21-Day Fix and 21-Day Fix Extreme and the eating plan that everybody uses. But she's saying if we don't eat before and have the pre-workout meal, we literally will not have enough calories to get through the workouts, and it'll be a waste of time because we won't be able to give it enough energy and enough effort so that we get stronger. So that's kind of what we're talking about. And because people get up and work out at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, she's saying eat an hour to an hour and a half before your workout, which can be very difficult if you're already getting up at 5:30. However, she's also saying, suck it up, Buttercup, because this is how the plan is written. And if you want to get results like the people in the test group, you've got to do it like the people in the test group. And it makes sense. It's a little bit of tough love, but it's good stuff. So anytime you go into Beachbody On Demand, the first thing you do when you're looking at the nutrition plan is you figure out what bracket you're in. And you do that by figuring out your caloric base, and then you take a deficit off of that. And based on the number you get, it puts you in a group when you're trying to lose weight. When you're trying to maintain weight, you don't take the deficit. You just don't subtract the deficit. But if you are a breastfeeding mama, you subtract the deficit and then bump up a category anyway. So it gets a little bit confusing. Okay. So tell me what you guys are most nervous about with this, and I'll try to kind of ease you in a little bit. And I'm also going to screen share in a minute so I can just kind of walk you through the documents so that they make a little bit more sense. Because in the U Project group, there's some documents like the food trackers that Michelle put up, which are great, but they don't make a lot of sense unless you've looked through all the other materials. So does anyone want to share something that they need clarification on or a little bit wary about?
I mean, I'll start. I mean, I'm just nervous and scared and excited at the same time with just basically staying consistent with eating at the times that I'm supposed to.
Okay.
And for me, Jamie, I know that you like to work out in the morning like I do. Are you still going to continue to work out in the morning?
Yeah, I'm going to have to wake up I'm going to have to start my workouts at like 5.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, cause right now my plan is that my workout's going to be at 6. I don't think I can do any earlier than that, which means I would have to get up at like 4:45, 5 o'clock, and then eat my meal, and then basically then do my Energize that I take like 30 to 20 minutes before my workout. So for me, like, I feel like that's a lot of food within like that hour before I start my workout. Cause I'm normally the type of person where I don't really eat pretty much anything at all before I do my workout, and I'm okay with that. But I understand that these workouts are going to be really intense. So I don't want to be like, dying like halfway through it, and I'm not going to push myself as hard as I really want to, and I'm not going to get the max benefit. So that's going to be kind of scary for me to be able to like eat, I guess, that much food when it probably isn't going to be once I start doing it, but that's going to be a little scary for me. And then again, just making sure that I'm eating at the appropriate times that I'm supposed to throughout the day, and not really missing those times, you know what I mean? Because if I'm not going to be consistently doing that, then I'm not going to get the results that I really want out of this program. So that's kind of my kind of fear in all this. So
okay, so I can address those really quickly. So I'm really glad you brought that up, because I think the early morning thing is weighing heavily on a lot of people's minds. So she recommends to intake your food an hour to an hour and a half before your workout. That may or may not be realistic for you. She also will tell you in the same breath, though, if you can't, like, know your body, right? So not everybody can eat a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon and then work out in an hour or an hour and a half. So this is the only time that she allows an exception, where if you can't eat all of your containers before you work out, you can save some of those containers and eat them at a different time within the workout block. This is the only time that she allows for you to do this. Mm-hmm. She also says she's the type of person, she drinks her shake and then she's good to work out in a half hour, because she knows her body and that's how it works. So a lot of people are choosing to do the shakes because you can do a couple things. People are worried about having so much volume in their stomachs, especially if you're doing the performance line too, which she's really recommending that. Sorry, I just got a message. She's recommending the Energize. She's actually recommending all of it, except I haven't seen her talk about creatine, which was a question I have written down for a different person who's not on this call. So I don't have to address that right now. So one thing you can do, though, if you make your shakes, make them less liquid dense. So use less liquid. Same thing with Energize. Instead of making it into a drink, maybe make it into a shot. You're still going to get it into your body. And obviously you can't do that with a shake because there's just too much powder and too much stuff in it, but just trying to make the volume a little bit less to make it easier on your stomach, if that's something that will work for you. Other things people are doing is they are pre-freezing. A popular one that I'm seeing all over the place is a tortilla with scrambled eggs and spinach, and they're wrapping them in wax paper and freezing them so that your meal is prepped. You can take them out of the freezer, pop them in the microwave, and you've got a whole meal, And when you're doing the scrambled eggs, you use oil. So that gets your
That makes
teaspoon in
sense.
there
I like
too.
that.
Right. So, and that's an easy grab and go thing. You can, and if you're like me, I can't do the same thing every day. I have to switch it up. Like maybe I can do the same thing 2 or 3 days in a row, but I cannot do the same thing 6 or 7 days in a row because I will be like, I don't even want to eat. So what I'm going to do is I already bought the wraps. I already have eggs. You guys know I have chicken, so I have eggs coming out my ears. And I have spinach. So I'm going to try doing the wrap thing and see how that works for me. And I'm probably going to alternate wrap, shake, wrap, shake. Then with Energize Mags, I'm going to make that into just a shake, like just a shot or something really small. So it's not taking up a lot of space in my stomach. For me, I can drink Energize right before I work out and it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
So
I don't like, for me, I don't like having a lot of like full liquid in my stomach because it makes me feel all like bleh. And it feels like when I'm doing my workouts, like the liquid is like swashing around, and that's just like a really icky feeling for me, and I don't like that.
A lot of people, I'm the weird one with this. A lot of people don't like feeling like there's a waterbed in their tummies, but I don't mind. I don't notice it.
I like the idea of doing it as a shot. That it does give you a lot.
Like you're still getting the same thing. You're still getting. I don't know how it's going to taste. Full disclosure. Like it might be a little grainy to do it that way. But then the early morning people who are eating at like 4 o'clock in the morning, Jamie, are you going to work out at 5? You said?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to eat at like 4. Like not everybody can turn on a blender in their house at 4 in the morning. So that makes this thing a little bit tough unless you want to be that crazy neighbor in your driveway with an extension cord running your side.
My husband gets up at like 4 and he's making smoothies every morning. So
wow, there you go.
Okay, so you're good then. You're good.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to just give him like a list, honey. I need you to make this for me and have it ready at 4. The other tip I want to give you guys really quickly about the timing. So pick what time you're doing your workout and build the rest of your day around that. There's some great examples that I'm going to go over in a few minutes in the materials. But once you pick your workout time, work around that. You want to do the 5 hours around it in your workout block, but put timers in your phone. You can set alarms in your phone and use the color-coded hearts so you know how many of what container you have for each meal. If you're someone who's going to, prep a couple things and then create meals on the fly, or else just figure out your meals ahead of time, like we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Honestly, that works the best. If you menu plan for the week, that works the best. I've tried it all, and that works the best. Go ahead.
Can I ask one other thing about the early morning? Amy, you were just talking about being able to save some containers for later, but I feel like, did she also say you could actually switch meal plan 1 for your pre-workout? Like you could switch that as like the one
meal plan option 1 you can switch for your workout. So for me, meal plan option 1, actually, wait a minute, she did say that at the beginning, or at least we thought she said that, but everything I heard and read today says you don't have your purples till after your workout. So my meal plan option 1 has a purple in it.
Yeah, it's a red and a purple, I think.
I don't think you can have your purples before. I'll get clarification on that. Let me find out. But I did see that too, but I think it was wrong.
Because that was totally my plan. Sorry, Max.
It's okay. So for mine, well, because right now I'm still going by plan A, but I'm gonna switch to plan C. So for like my plan A, my meal option 1 is a green and a spoon, which would mean I would have a vegetable and then some type of like oil or like nut butter or something like that. That's how it is.
What a shitty meal. A green and a spoon?
A red, a green.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
A red, a green.
Yeah.
That's better.
No, mine is, this is for the plan A, but I have to check plan C because plan C might be completely different.
Maggie, wait, is that plan A or is that plan A like shred week? We're not even going to talk about that because that's the last week of the program, but I think you're in the wrong one.
No, you know what? But I'm doing the vegan one. That's why it's different for me because I'm doing vegan. I'm so sorry.
That sounds awful.
Wait a minute. I want my bread.
What do you eat? Green beans and peanut butter? That's. I mean, I'm sure there's probably really creative things. Like one thing I need to work on is opening my mind. I have a lot of trouble with change, and this is new for me. So I'm like, I immediately go to like that negative. Oh, that's terrible. When really there's probably some pretty good stuff out there. Like you could do.
I'm so sorry, guys. I totally forgot to mention that I'm doing vegan. That's like such a huge piece of.
No,
mine.
I
That's
told
why-
them before you got on that you were doing vegan. But yes,
Okay.
that's yeah. So Melanie, that is a very good question. I did hear that at the
Okay.
beginning, but then the stuff I was listening to and reading today says you can't have your purple till after your workout.
Okay.
And I don't know, because I know I heard her say that.
Yeah, because I think on one of the videos that she posted, she said you could swap meal.
Meal
Yeah.
pre-workout with meal one, but then everything is saying no purples till after your workout, and you can't switch any, like outside of the workout block, you can have meal one for dinner or lunch, like you can have it. I'll explain it when we get there, but I'll find out for sure. That's a great question.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
so what I'm gonna do okay, so Maggie, that was your question. Melanie, do you have anything that you're kind of nervous about or something that we can address before we go and look at the documents?
I mean, somebody posted at some point yesterday that they feel like they're in final exams. I mean, I basically also feel like I'm in final exams and like studying really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just everything. It's like I've never actually prepped any meals ever. I tend to just like pull what's in my fridge. So actually like taking the time to do it and how long that's going to take and like coming up with, as you said, like thinking outside the box, coming up with creative options. It's just, I think getting over the fear of like just doing it for the first few weeks and getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And I would love to have confirmation on the morning meal because in my mind I was just going to do a shake with fruit and was like really excited for that. But yeah, and like forcing myself to get up because I think I'm going to work out at 5:30. So forcing myself to get up at like 4:45. I was thinking 4:45, shake at 5. I just can't get up any earlier than that.
You'll probably be okay. And we're all gonna, here's the thing, is we're all gonna adapt to it. And the reason I think it's such a big deal, like this program is awesome. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard as you know what, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the reason that we're putting so much like love into it, really, when you think about it. So I think I kind of feel the same way about the amount of information, but the more I learn about it, literally the more excited I get.
Yeah.
I'm being I don't know. I've never felt like this about a program. I feel like a weirdo.
I'm excited about it too. I'm
Interesting.
super
Yeah.
pumped. I'm
Yeah.
super pumped by it.
Yeah. Me too.
It's the game the best year yet, bet. Okay, sorry. Different. My messages go crazy at night. So you're not alone. We all feel that way. We all feel like we're running the marathon before the race even starts, kind of. And then here's the thing. I think the first week, maybe week and a half, 2 weeks, is going to be an adjustment period. But once
Yeah.
we get it, it's going to be super easy. We'll be like, why haven't we done this for our whole lives? That's what I think is going to happen. Minus the no wine part. Is anyone else going no wine for the whole 80 days? I know. So
No.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be
no.
hard.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Are
I mean,
you?
my wine poisoning from the other night helped me
Yay!
decide that.
See, there you
Michelle
go,
is like, I
Dina.
can't do
I'm
it.
just drinking wine. I love it.
So here's the thing though, guys. So if you want to drink wine, but it's not like the 21-day fix. This is not the 21-day fix where you can save a yellow and it counts as a yellow. It's just,
Yeah.
you have to get it in your mind. If you have wine, it's completely off plan and it's not included in anything. So, but you should, listen, 80 days is a long time to go without a glass of wine or relaxing or doing things you want. So we don't want this to be like a punishment or anything like that. So try to stick to the plan. Give yourself a little grace too. Jamie and Dina, what are you guys most kind of apprehensive about?
I'll let Jamie go first.
She looks so thrilled to be the first one to go.
I just think the early morning workouts and the pre-workout meal, and also I almost feel like the what one is it? The post-workout meal.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like it's a lunch type of meal. Like they say you can have chicken, and I'm like, I'm just, starting out at work. I'm gonna have to use the microwave for like chicken, and you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. a struggle for me, I guess.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and Melanie mentioned it too, and I'm sorry I didn't expand on it. So we don't need to be creative, right? So we don't, if you want to be creative and you want to find new and different ways to eat a green with a teaspoon, you can. Or you can have a teaspoon of peanut butter and some green beans. You know what I mean? So I don't, my recommendation would be don't make yourself crazy trying to do something intricate. If the idea of chicken when you first get into work freaks you out, don't eat chicken, eat something else. There's a lot of different protein options, right? So, you know, and just make it work for you, however it works. And you know what? If you want to have chicken and people think it's weird, they're going to be pretty envious of you when they see you in the summer when all the layers start coming off. And then you're just like, you know how I put chicken in the microwave at 10 and you get this hot guy? Yeah.
Listen, for the vegan one, I have things in there like tofu and tempeh and like lentils and chickpeas and beans. So for me to eat that stuff like as a breakfast item is very weird for me. So it's going to take some time to get used to that, because those are things that I feel like are like lunch, dinner items to eat. So that's going to be an adjustment for me as well too. So I completely understand where you're coming from, Jamie, about eating chicken at like, you know, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. Like that's just weird. Like people don't normally eat chicken for breakfast. So yeah.
Maggie, I have tempeh to give you actually, because I'm never going to eat it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to remake it because I didn't like it when I was doing
it's just plain.
Reset.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Some people love it. Stacy mixes it with ground turkey.
Okay. I'm going to try to redo it and see if it comes out better than the way I made it before. So
unless I threw it out already because I got mad. I don't know. If I have it, I'll give it to you. Anyway. All right. So
as
Dina.
long as it's not expired or bad.
I wouldn't give it to you if it was expired. I would give it to the chickens. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I don't know if you like eggs at all, but my plan for that meal is because same thing, the thought of chicken at 8:30 in the morning is like, no. So my plan is to try to make like egg cups and then take them with me to work. That was my plan.
That's a good idea too.
Is to try to make egg cups. Yeah.
And you can freeze egg cups too, guys. I mean, it depends on what you add to them, but almost everything in an egg cup you can freeze.
But I think if you make egg cups, like if you use like a pan for cupcakes, I think you can keep that in the refrigerator for like up to a few days and it would be fine. Mm. So you could just take that with you, you know, when you go to work and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's a great idea, Melanie. Look at how much we're getting done. This is great. Dina, talk to us. What are you scared of, girl?
So I'm going back to work on Monday.
Dive right in. Get all the pain over at once, right?
So I work retail. So my schedule is really going to fluctuate a lot. On Monday, I'm 9 to 5:30. So that's really an early shift for me. So no matter what day of the week it is, I'm going to try to do my workout between 6:30 and 7:30 because it gives me time to shower, get in the car, and drive to the store. I'm not a morning girl, so I'm going to rely on my friend Jamie because I know that, you know, especially over the past couple of months, she's really kind of changed her mind frame about being more of a morning person. But I think my plan is to eat and then read my personal development book before I work out so that I am not missing anything during the day. It gives my food a little chance to digest. But okay, yeah, it's a 60-minute workout on Monday. And yeah, let's just go for it.
You should read the 5-second rule if you haven't read it already. It's pretty epic.
Okay.
It's about the whole concept of the book is you get an idea here in your heart and then your mind talks you out of it. And it's actually a good idea. So when you have the idea, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And it's a good book. You would like it. Go ahead, Mag.
And Dina, do you I forgot. Are you a person that can do Audible, or do you actually like to read a book?
No, read for me. I don't spend enough time in the car anymore. I used to, but now it's not enough. You know, it's like a 15-minute commute to work.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I'm like, I mean, sometimes, I mean, I personally like to listen to podcasts. So I do podcasts and I do personal development. So a lot of times, like if I'm gonna be in the car for say like longer than like 20 minutes, I'll actually listen to a podcast.
Okay.
So I was gonna, I was gonna maybe say that could be part of your personal development. So even if you're only driving to work for 15 minutes, listen to a podcast. There's so many really cool ones out there. I can give you a bunch of, cool options, ones that I listen to. So at least you're kind of getting your mind set and ready, even before you go into work. So you just have a better day. That's why I like to do the personal development in the morning, because it just sets me up for a much better day. Because I know the times that I don't do personal development in the morning, I have not as good of a day as if I would if I did it early in the morning. So just a suggestion. So
Awesome. Thanks, Maggie.
I agree with her. Okay, so it's already 9:08. I want to try to like kind of go through the materials pretty quickly. Oh man, I just wrote down a note and I don't know what it means. But hold on. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen right now. That's what I was trying to prepare you guys for. All right, can you guys see my screen?
yes.
Okay. So Beachbody On Demand, you're going to click on 80-Day Obsession, and then you're going to click on Program Materials right here. I'm sure most of you have already done this. And Lori, whatever program you go into, you click on the program title, and then you can click on Program Materials. Almost every program has its own nutrition plan, and you can find it all right in here. So guys, if you haven't done it, you want to read the starter guide. I do have it open somewhere right here. And this is where you find everything. It explains some of the concepts behind, 80-Day Obsession, talks about time nutrition, the refeed day, self-care. Here's a part I want to hit on with all of you, and I'm sure you're going to shoot me eye daggers. Take your before photos and measurements. You don't have to share them with anyone. I know it's scary, but you will be so glad that you have them when you look at your fine ass self in the mirror. But you don't look at yourself every day. So 2 months into the program, you might not feel that you've made a lot of progress, but you could go to your before photos. You'd be like, oh yeah, I definitely made a lot of progress. There was a coach in the test group, Coach Tulin. She has a couple of health issues, but she's a very large girl to start with. And she only lost like 7 pounds, but she lost like 37 inches.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's a huge visual difference. But if you're looking at yourself every day in the mirror for 80 days, you may not notice what a big change it is. So trust me when I say take your before photos, take your before measurements. You will be very glad that you have them. I recommend this strongly to anybody who does any program. The other option when you do that is you can upload your pictures to the website once you complete any Beachbody program, guys. You can upload your before and after pictures and you get a free t-shirt for that program.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, and when you get sick of the free t-shirts for yourself, just order them in your husband's size. That's what I do. And then you get extra t-shirts.
And Amy, and there's a side note, because I want to challenge all of my challengers, is that Beachbody actually does a Beachbody challenge every single year. And if it's something that you want to participate in, it would be an amazing experience. I mean, people win lots of money for this, but I mean, that's just the end. Like, that's just a prize that you get, but what you actually gain from being part of a Beachbody challenge, your health and just feeling good about yourself inside and out, that obviously outweighs a lot more than, the cash prize. But that's just something to maybe take a look at if you're ever interested. All that information's on beachbody.com, but there's some pretty amazing stories in there that will definitely make you cry. Right, Amy?
Oh, for sure. Very inspiring.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the first program that I know of that has 6 different brackets for eating, and that's because they only have 300 calories in each bracket. Usually it's a much bigger subset, I think 400 or 500 calories. So, but it's pretty cool because it means you can really customize it to really hone in on your results and your nutrition. So if you guys have already done this, I mean, you always want to look at the getting started stuff. They talk about supplements and Shakeology and why you really kind of need that with this program. She hits very briefly on refeed days, which is in the last week of the program. You're going to cut back on your carbs, but up your proteins to really kind of shred out. but we're nowhere near that. So we're not even going to worry about that right now. So once you go to the starter guide, you'll have your bracket picked out. I'm group C. So what you do then, so I would recommend a couple things. So you should already all have been at this point. You should know what group you're in. First thing I would recommend that you do, and it's not loading on my computer, but the approved foods list all day. I think I have to restart my computer. Let me see if I can find it one other place, because I did download it too, hoping that it would work. So here's the thing. It's very tempting when you start a new program to go into the approved food list and buy everything. Don't do that. When I first started 21 Day Fix years ago, that's what I did. I went and bought everything on the approved foods list. I spent over $400, and then I found out I was pregnant on the day my challenge group was supposed to start. So I wasted all of the money, and I didn't end up using any of it. So here's the thing, right? You don't need to buy 7 different kinds of nut butters. You can buy the one you like, right? You don't have to buy every type of protein on there. You can buy the 1 or 2 types that you like. And this is why menu planning is so important, because a lot of us don't have unlimited funds to go spend on food that we're going to end up throwing away because it goes bad before we use it. So if you make your menu plan first and incorporate your containers and the approved foods that you like in that menu plan, guess what? You have a grocery list built in too. And what I try to do is I choose like recipes or meals or things that my kids will eat too. So I can just make a double batch. It makes things easier for me too, but that all comes back to menu planning. All right, let me see if I can find, this is a whole new computer for me too, so I don't know where anything is. Okay, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time looking for this because we all have a lot going on. So look at the approved foods list, but no, you should not buy everything on that list. It's a guide to say, hey, this is the stuff that you're allowed to eat in each category. It's not meant to say, hey, you need to buy everything in each category, okay? All right, then you're gonna go into your eating plan, and this is where it gets really interesting to me. There's your table of contents. There's where it breaks down on your containers. So guys, if you don't have containers, it's very easy to find out what each container is worth, like how big it is. So I could tell you off the top of my head, green and purple are both 1 cup, red is 3/4 of a cup, yellow is 1/4 of a cup, I believe.
I think it's half a cup, yeah?
Yellow?
I think it's half.
Yellow might be half and blue might be 1/4. See, but it's easy to find them if you don't have them. If you do have them, guys, take a Sharpie and just write on the side what it's for if you can't remember. It's super easy. And I mean, you're not going to use them for anything else. So, or maybe you will. My kids like to play with mine because I have so many sets of them. Why do they give us 2 oranges? I don't understand that. Okay. So now, if I'm going too fast, guys, please stop me, or if anything I'm saying is not making sense, because like
Can I just ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
In the original like book that we got with the containers, it said like agave and honey were free for coffees.
Yep.
When you look at the free foods list with this, it is not free.
Nope, it is different. So coffee is black with stevia, or you could put, some people put vanilla or almond extract in it because those are free. Cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna struggle with no honey either. It's like my favorite. I love avocado toast with a fried egg, and I love yogurt with honey. Ugh, anyway, I can't even think about it. No, it is a different food list. It's a whole different eating program. So it's, a lot of people are confusing some of the, I guess, rules or ground rules because of the container system. But the only thing that's really gonna apply is that if it fits in the container, you can eat it. All right, so here's where it kind of maps out for you what your meal block looks like, okay? So 60, 90 minutes before your workout, you have your pre-workout meal. 20 or 30 minutes before your workout, you have Energize. During your workout, you have Hydrate. I'm not gonna do that every day, although it does make a huge difference for me. I'm probably gonna do water most of the time. It's just, I feel like it's so much stuff. But I do drink a lot of water when I work out. And then the post-workout supplements, so if you're doing Recover, this is when you do that. And see, there's your first purple. So here's why it's fresh in my mind. I don't think you can switch your meals anymore, your pre-workout with meal plan 1, because they just talked about it today that the first time that you can have your purple is after, and to put half a banana in with your Recover, which I've never done. So I'll find out though for sure, Melanie. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say my gut is telling me.
I will cry. I'm gonna cry.
Okay. But we'll figure out a way around it. That's all. And then post-workout meal. Now, here's the interesting thing. I know I went through that really quickly. Here's what she said. In that workout block, you are stuck. You are not stuck, right? It's very regimented. It needs to be. It's very structured for the times and the amount of containers at that specific time. So, with the exception of your pre-workout meal, say you can't eat a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon, and you can only eat a red and a yellow. You can have your green at a different point in that workout block, but if you don't eat it in that workout block, you can't have it, like you can't save it and eat it all at the end of the day. Okay, that's the only exception for messing with your containers. Other than that, she's very specific. At your post-workout meal, it needs to be this container. For meal option 1, it needs to be these containers. Meal option 2, it needs to be these containers. Meal option 3, it needs to be these containers. Here's where you have a little bit of leeway. She doesn't care if meal option 1 is your breakfast, your lunch, or your dinner. She doesn't care if meal option 2 is your breakfast, your lunch, or your dinner. And same thing with meal option 3, okay? So you can switch those 3 things. As long as you keep the container counts the same, it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm like, there's crickets. That's bad.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so here, then you get into your timed nutrition meal plan example. It's great that she provided us these examples because they're super easy and most people will be able to eat them. So pre-workout, 1 green of baby spinach cooked, 2 eggs cooked because 2 eggs is 1 red, half a cup of oatmeal cooked, and then a teaspoon of olive oil. Then you have your Energize, then you have your Hydrate, then you have your Recover with your half a banana. Then they give you your post-workout meal, steamed squash, chicken breast, pasta, cooked. So Jamie, I'm sorry, I'm gonna deviate on this for a minute. One person in 80-Day Obsession is recommending for this post-workout meal for people who work out early in the morning to make a chicken pasta salad. Because you can make that ahead of time and bring it to work, and then, you know,
Ooh,
you could
yummy
add some
chicken pasta salad breakfast.
What?
I said, "Oh, yummy chicken pasta salad breakfast."
I know, but it's an, you know,
And you
it's
don't have
not
to heat it up, so.
you can get creative like that. So this just gives you a couple of different like examples of what someone might pick for those options. Now, rest days or Sundays, there is the only difference here, guys, is there's no workout block, right? So you're eating 5 meals. You just want to stay within the containers here. It's pretty simple, but it is different than the rest of the week. It's important to note that.
Is this for Sunday? Do you know, does it have to be eaten in that order, like meal 1 or those containers, or is this the type of thing where we can switch them? I couldn't remember that.
Hold on, let me see. Your container count on these days won't change, but you can switch around your meal options to the order you like. So it's the same thing as long, like you can have meal option 4 as your breakfast, but it still has to be a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon. So you can have whatever option you want wherever you want during the day, but it has to.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that you could switch that around as long as you get all that in your in one day, basically.
No, so it's saying you can switch around the meal options. Like you don't have to eat your biggest meal for lunch, like
right.
meals 2
but
and
at
3.
some
But
point, you want to get all these meals in the day. At some
yeah,
point.
no, but yeah, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So like if you have meal option 3 and save it for nighttime, it still has to be that same amount of containers.
Right. That's what.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. I understand that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so that's that. We're not going to talk about refeed yet because we don't need to go there yet. We're not going to talk about deplete day yet because we don't need to go there. Okay, so if you guys saw the document that Michelle put up in the group, the reason she and I Zoomed earlier is I was like, Michelle, I think I hadn't gotten this far in the planning yet. I was like, Michelle, I don't understand what you put up. Why is it so out of order? Why is it pre-workout meal, pre-workout supplement, post-workout supplement, post-workout meal? Like, it wasn't in order. And this is why it's modeled. Sorry, this computer. It's modeled off of this. So it's a copy. She's so sweet for putting that up for all of us. But guys, you can print those out, or you can just keep them on your computer, even on your phone, and just input what you want. She has the containers there. She even put in the approved food list all the way to the right, which is pretty awesome. Okay, next up is these workout blocks. These saved my life because I was really trying to wrap my head around how a day would look food-wise with timing based on when you're doing your workout. So Jamie, morning workout block, wake up time 5:30. So you've got to bump that back. This whole schedule goes back, you know, an hour, hour and a half for you. But it kind of, for me, it helped to see, oh, okay, I do this at this time. I do this at this time. So according to this, because you're going to get up at 4, right?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not that bad. So you'll do your pre-workout meal at 5:30. No,
No,
pre-workout.
actually, you know what? I'm going to start my workout at like 5:15. So
You need to get up if you're going to start your workout at 5:15.
yeah.
Don't give me the side eye. I didn't make the program. So you need to get up probably at 4 and then eat by 4:15. I know, sounds crazy, but you know what? Let's be open-minded, give it a week or two and see what happens. You know, that's all you could do. Or you could shorten it if you know.
4:30 in the afternoon.
What?
So so
Yeah.
this is 6, right? She's moving it up to 4 a.m. She doesn't eat after 4:30 in the afternoon. No, scroll back, Amy. Right? So 6 a.m. is she's doing the morning. 6 a.m.
Yeah.
becomes 4 a.m.
Yep.
for her. So everything goes back by 2 hours. So her last meal is at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, so here's what I would say. Push everything back by a half hour if you can.
Yeah.
So
Because she won't make it through the night.
no.
She'll starve.
Yeah, well, she won't starve. but yes, it would be difficult, and that's I don't necessarily think that's healthy either. So what I would do, Jamie, is oh my God, I have to do math. This is terrible. Okay. So that means that your post-workout supplement would be at 7, according to this. Am I right? Your 2 hours this just all needs to move back 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do it at 7:15. And then I would do this one at 8:30. So add 2, and then move these back by a half hour each. So 12, yeah. So do what works for you, because small changes aren't going to make that big of a difference, but you should not have your last meal at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And also, I think this could, in theory, be 7, because you can have 2 to 3 hours between meals. But obviously, I agree, like, whatever,
Yeah.
3 hours and 15 minutes or 3.5. Like,
Yeah.
so it's 4 to 6:30. So that could be 7 in theory, although having your last meal at 5 is still pretty early.
Well, so here's the other thing is she's very adamant that we should all be getting 8 hours of sleep. I don't know how I'm going to do that, because I haven't done that since I had children. Even if they're not here, I still can't sleep 8 hours. But I mean, eating at 5 is still a bit early. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the most important thing. Whatever you choose to do, it's very regimented and very structured, but it needs to work for you. We're doing this for our own health and wellness. So you're not having your last meal at 4:30 is crazy and out of the question. So we have to adapt it a little bit to work for you. So here's what you need to do. You need to sit down, figure out your workout, and figure out your blocks around that so that it works for you and you're not miserable. I don't want anyone to be miserable. We want this to be a great experience that challenges us and challenges our bodies. But she's saying the workout block is the most crucial for timing. So maybe make sure that all stays within the 5 hours. And I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see. I'm sorry. So maybe make sure this all stays within the 5 hours, and then take a little bit of jurisdiction with these 4 meals or these 3 meals. Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
I definitely don't want anyone to be done eating at 4:30.
And Jamie would have to go to bed at 7:30.
Well, listen, I'm not going to lie. Some days I would like to go to bed at 7:30.
Yeah, right.
Then I would just lay in bed until 11. I can't sleep. All right. So I just wanted to show you guys those workout blocks because I thought, there we go. I thought it was really helpful for me to like see what it would actually look like. So for me, I'm working out, and they have one for afternoon. Then they have, if you're not using the performance line, which I think some of you are not, you want to look at this. Okay, so this is on page 11 in the Plan C guide. It's the last page. It's probably the last page on all of them. If you're not using recovery, so I've heard that recovery specifically really is a game changer. And they're saying the recharge at night, because we're going to be sore. This is going to be hard, but it's going to be awesome. All right, so really make sure you dig in, get deep into that. Make sure that you know that your rest day meal plan is going to differ from the rest of the week. And guys, once you take the time to sit down and make a meal plan, the first one is painful and it takes a long time to do because you try to perfect it. First off, don't try to perfect it. All right. And the next one that you make will be a lot easier because you'll already have the format. You'll know what works for you, what doesn't, what's easy, what's not. But the first week it's always rough of a new program. And this one's especially going to be a little bit more trying because it's all new to everybody. But hang in there. We're going to make it through. I wrote down be open-minded on my paper like 3 times. Be open-minded. So trust the process, be open-minded. One last tip I have, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can show you guys this. And then I'll ask Maggie to talk about the vegan plan for a little bit because we've been on for a while already. One of the videos I watched today, there is an app called Food Planner. I think it's from Food Network. It looks very Food Network-esque. It's a free app. But guys, it has a calendar so you can input your meals and the times that you want to eat them. Okay? It has a place where you can save recipes that you find on the web that you might like. It has a groceries list. And it has an inventory list. So that means if you have something on hand, it's in your inventory. You don't need to worry about buying that. Like I have peanut butter. I'm not an almond butter, cashew butter fan. I like peanut butter. And I always have it because I buy the 2 packs at Sam's Club. I always have 2 because.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
What?
Sam's is closing.
Not
do you
all
use
of them.
Britain?
No, I'm in the one in Newington's open. The one in Manchester, I don't know how they stayed open.
They're done.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how they stayed open for this long because how could you even get, I didn't even know. I worked there for 3 years and I didn't know how to get to that store. So anyway, so this, like I said, it's a free app. Someone recommended it today because I really like that it has inventory and grocery lists though. I always text my husband my grocery list. He's like, really, Amy? I'm like, shh. I'm not very technologically savvy, all right? But a couple of pointers we talked about today, just to refresh you really quick, was setting alarms for your time nutrition and saving the different color hearts under the alarm so you remember how much you're supposed to eat of which thing every day. For your pre-workout meal, we talked about a wrap with scrambled eggs and spinach. You can wrap those in wax paper, freeze them, and then microwave them. Same thing with the egg cups. And Melanie, that's a great suggestion because those are easy to make ahead of time and they're easy to take with you. Pop them in your mouth and you're good to go. That might even work for your pre-workout meal if you if you need to change it up like I do. Figure out what time you're going to be doing your workout and build your day around that. And please give yourself a little bit of grace. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're not going for perfection. We're going for progress towards perfection. And every time you challenge yourself, every step you take that you might not have because it's hard, you're improving. So reward yourself for that too. Be proud of yourself for that. If you are like me and Maggie and trying not to drink at all, God bless you. And with your coffee, I know that'll be a struggle for some of you not to have any sweeteners, but I do believe stevia is still acceptable. And what a lot of people do use is the extracts. And you can get them at Aldi. Sells a lot of different extracts. A lot of people use almond or vanilla or, you know, lots of different ones. Don't be afraid if you're comfortable to experiment with that kind of stuff so that you're not depriving yourself of foods that you do want to eat. All right. I don't think I missed anything.
But they do say well, at least in my plan, that I can have 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk in my coffee. So like soy or almond or like cashew or something like that. So you are allowed to have a couple tablespoons of a milk in your coffee if you really need to have it. Because I don't like black coffee, so that's what I'll be doing.
I'm not drinking coffee. I only like it when it's loaded with crap.
Oh, okay. See, not me. I don't really put a lot
sugars.
of sugar anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I
All
don't
right,
really
Maggie, you take it away now.
No, it's okay. I don't even really have too much to say differently about the vegan plan because everything is pretty much the same. It's just the different foods that you're eating. But I just wanted to say for my own personal experience. So I've been eating mostly plant-based foods. I would say going on for like almost a good month, but really like dialing into that since the beginning of the year. And I will tell you that my cravings for sweets have gone down substantially, and I am a sugar freaking addict. I mean, put a plate of freaking chocolate chip cookies in front of me and I will eat that whole damn thing.
Melanie, I'm looking at you because I'm the same way.
Chocolate, pastries, cake, I mean, anything. Like, I'm like, just like, get it away from me. If I don't have it in the house, I'm not tempted to eat it. So one, don't buy that stuff. That's basically what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell my husband not to get it because I want to stay true on my own health and journey and prove to myself that I can do it. So if it's not in my house, then I'm not going to eat it. But I can tell you that my cravings have gone down a lot, and I've actually been making my own vegan chocolate bars. They're extremely dark chocolate with not a lot of, I put maple syrup in mine to sweeten it. And what I've been doing, and I'm not going to do it on the 80-day obsession because it's not part of the plan. But I've been just taking a little piece of that when I have a sweet tooth craving, and it goes away for me. And it's just been really working well for me. And I personally have found that when I cut out gluten and dairy, I feel so much better. Like in my gut area, my digestion is better. I don't feel all icky and gross and bloated. And honestly, I don't really miss it too much. Although I still do miss my dairy, like cheese and everything like that. But, and I find that when I do eat a little bit of it or a little bit too much of it after eating, you know, plant-based stuff for like a couple days in a row, I definitely feel the difference, and it does take a toll on my body. So it's just my own personal thing. And I just think for me, eating more, you know, plants and fruits and nuts and all that stuff like that is better for your body anyways. But again, that's just my thing. And I'm always going to just talk about it because I'm really passionate about it. And I think it's super important for people to eat more of those things. I'm not saying for you to completely take out, you know, meat or cheese or whatever, but that's just my experience on it, and that's just kind of my takeaway. So that's all I really wanted to say about that. Everything else is pretty much the same for the actual plan. So
when Maggie and I discussed it, and I asked her if she would share some of the vegan, like how the different, like whatever she wanted to highlight about the vegan meal plan, she said, "Well, why? Nobody is a vegetarian." I said, "Well, that doesn't mean that people might not be interested in maybe trying some vegetarian stuff or possibly going that way in the future." And I will tell you, as a farm girl who grew up with, you know, we raised our own cows, our own pigs, you know, stocked our own freezers, have our own chickens now for their eggs. I never thought I'd be someone who would move off of animal-based protein, and I haven't. But when I did the Ultimate Reset for 3 weeks, I thought I'd be miserable. I really felt great though, and I would do it again. So it definitely does make, for me, it made my skin clearer. It definitely made my, you know, my digestion was more regular and just better. And you just feel really, I don't know, really light, I guess.
You do. You feel like super, I just feel like really like clean, and I just feel good. And I feel really good about the foods that I'm putting in my body, and I know that I'm nourishing my body with something that's just nutritious. And yeah, and I mean, that's just the way that I want to go, just because I think that it's, yeah, I don't know.
And it is out there. I think Autumn Calabrese is a vegan. I know that Carl Deichler's wife is a vegan. A lot of people that are, do a lot with health and fitness and wellness related stuff are vegans. So if you want information on that lifestyle, Maggie is your girl. But this 80-Day Obsession is the first program to be released with a full vegan plan. So 21 Day Fix does have a vegan plan as well, but it didn't come out initially with the program. It didn't come out until later. So that's something that's pretty exciting. What I would recommend is if it's something that interests you, research it. We've got Google. 10 years ago, they didn't have that. So look into it. If you have any questions, ask Maggie, and when in doubt, eat some greens.
And if you guys don't mind, just, I love sharing recipes with you guys. Most of the recipes that I'll probably be sharing with you guys are going to be vegan, plant-based stuff. So just try one of the recipes and just see how you like it. And you can always modify an ingredient in there or add animal based protein in there if you don't want to do a plant-based protein in there. But just try it. You never know if you're going to like it. And let your family try it out too. So my husband actually loves most of the meals that I cook. He'll usually add chicken on there, but you never know. That's
all right.
That's all I gotta say.
Questions, comments,
concerns.
Thanks, ladies.
All right, wait, don't sign off yet. Everyone smile, put on your pretty face. I'm going to take a picture and you're going to be on my Instagram stories. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, guys, this is recorded too, so I'll put it up in the group once it finishes converting. But thank you all for joining. Just by being here, by the way, you've already taken the step to own this ish. So I'm really excited to do this with you guys. I'm really nervous. I get sweaty armpits just thinking about it, but it's all going to be good. I think we made some progress tonight, which is great. Thank you guys for your ideas. It's really helpful. I think that we did this, and I look forward to doing it again, maybe in a couple weeks. All right.
Thanks, Amy.
Guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bring up this weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.